Hi guys, it's day 20 now. If you've been following along, I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of the other days that will be coming up. Again, 46 days of these, and I'm so thankful for any of you that have been watching me along. I'd love to know your thoughts on the books that I've already unwrapped. And again, not knowing what's coming forward, I really want your thoughts on that as well. Do you have any guesses that you might think could be on this shelf for the next few days? Well, more than a few days I have left to do. Now, let's just go find number 20. Oh, day 20 is an easy one. It's the first one. Day 20. I have in store for me. I'm a little nervous. It is a little thicker. I really liked yesterday's, so make sure you check out yesterday's. Okay, I'm going to look at this one first. I know sometimes I let my cameraman see it, and sometimes I see it first. I want to see this one first. Walt Disney's The Prince and the Pauper from Mark Twain's famous classics. Okay. I remember what the Prince and the Pauper was kind of about before. So yeah. This definitely looks like an older definitely one. Oh, there's even a little inscription in it. It was like, "To Howard for Christmas, 1963, from Mrs. Flo." That's a little inscription in it. Can you see it? Oh, that's so sad in some ways when you think about that. And it was copyright 1962, so this is definitely an older one. I'll have to be very careful with it because it does look like the spine's a little iffy, but I'll be careful with it. Okay, let's review The Prince and the Pauper. This is a Walt Disney collection. It's based on Mark Twain's book, and this came out in 1962, this edition of the story. And you can almost tell by the wear and tear. I'm really surprised that Terry was able to find this. It's not in bad shape, but it is definitely old, where like even the first page wants to like come out. It actually has some imagery there, like some pictures, which I thought was really kind of cool, and the back looks like this. There is some pictures through the book. I'll see if I can find one without ripping any pages because it's an old book. Come on. The one time you want a picture, you can't find one. Get it. And there's not a lot of pictures in it, but there's a few. Like this is the scene where they switch clothes. Now the prince's name is, I had to make a note, prince's name is Edward. And so he's the prince. The pauper's name is Tom, and he comes obviously from a poor family. And of course, as the story goes, if you've never heard about The Prince and the Pauper, it's basically based on the prince and the pauper end up being in the same room under circumstances, and they decide to switch. And this was more the prince wanting to switch than I think Tom wanted to switch. And they switched places for a few days, and each of them went through their own challenges why they were switched. I'm really surprised in some ways though that nobody caught on. Like they were actually born like the same day, which was kind of interesting too. Just obviously different circumstances. And I ended up giving this a 3.75 stars because I really liked the pace of it. I was trying to be really careful with the book. And as I believe I mentioned in the beginning, it was actually like to a kid. It said "To Howard for Christmas 1963 from Miss Flo." I think that's so sweet, and it's like, it really kind of makes you wonder. And I think this is so cool about books that are this old and have an inscription in there, and it actually had the year that she gave this to somebody. It really makes me wonder like how many different hands have like touched this book since the 1960s. When you think about that, how many people, like, was it something that was still in Howard's library and he donated? Because Terry found it at a place like called Red Wagon. I think it was a thrift store. It's a thrift store down in Georgia. I'm not sure if it's still open. No, maybe it's another one that closed. I can't remember. I'm sure Terry will comment down below whether Red Wagon, I can't talk today, is still open or not. But I like the story. I feel like they did a good job showing what each of them struggled with, possibly before they switched, why they were switched, and then how they came back together. And I think it was pretty cool too that the prince ended up having a really good friend that he made while he was a pauper kind of thing, and that ended up being a good thing for the one guy. And you kind of hated the pauper's father in the story a little bit. And overall, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too long of a read, I think. I can't remember how many pages off the top of my head. And they've done other ones, I guess, that are out there. 210 pages, I believe. Yeah, 210 pages, so it's not a bad read. I think I read this in maybe either 1 or 2 nights. The pace wasn't bad. I liked the sporadic drawings that were through it. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. No, I mean, I think that's about it. I think it's a good story if you've never come across it. I don't remember if the original characters' names are Edward and Tom from Mark Twain or not. That I don't remember, so I don't know if Disney changed that. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Authorized TV adventure. I just noticed that on the side. I think that's kind of cute. But if you get a chance to read any more of like the Walt Disney tellings, let me know down below. And how many of you remember Walt Disney doing this Prince and the Pauper with Mickey Mouse? I remember the Mickey Mouse cartoon version. Let me know if you do too. How old are you? And the thing is, I would definitely like almost want to see more of these to like from this time frame to see like how the images are and how they retold it back then. And I'm kind of curious what the most recent retelling in a story would be of The Prince and the Pauper. So let me know if you've come across any additional like, retellings of this story down below. I think that'd be interesting. And as always, check out the description box to be to know all the links to my social media and a link to Terry's YouTube channel. I know she would appreciate it if you pop over there and check out her stuff and subscribe to her channel, as well as subscribe to mine. See the little thingy down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up if you liked the retellings of Prince and the Pauper stories.